we urge you to encourage elected political office holders who are members of your party, governors, members of the National Assembly, local government chairmen, to ensure that a genuine level playing field is maintained and that focus is placed on making everyone see that the rules and processes are fair to all and respected by all. As a man who risks so much in the struggle for the return of democratic rule in the dark days of military dictatorship, your greatest legacy would be the strengthening of our democratic institutions. Furthermore, there have been growing concerns about the electoral processes. We note the efforts being made to ensure that the elections are free, fair, and credible. It is our hope that you be on the forefront in demanding that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, delivers credible elections to ensure that Nigeria is set on the path of national development and integrity. This ought to start with making voters' cards easily available to all eligible voters and end with election results that reflect the true choice of Nigerians. Adequate and timely funding of INEC is required to ensure that the agency inspires the confidence of citizens. We urge that the conduct of the political class should be in tone with the voices we lift to God in prayer. Mr. President, we congratulate you for the recent successful release of the kidnapped school children and their teachers in Oyo State. The arrest of some of the kidnappers and their speedy prosecution is one of the few positive indicators of what a willing government and its agencies could do to protect the life and property of citizens. We commend you for this and for other such successes in recent times. Finally, we believe that the problems and burdens of our nation require sincere commitment to good governance for the common good, to the glory of God. We continue to pray for our dear country and I appeal to you to take seriously our pleas for greater collaboration between the church and the state for the overall well-being of our people. We believe that Mr. President is aware that the Holy Father, Pope Leo, holds our country very close to his heart and constantly prays for us. During our visit to him in March this year, he was quite enthusiastic about a visit to Nigeria on a date in the future. As you know, sir, that will only happen if you invite him. We request that this be done soon. Our land and its people will benefit immensely from his presence and blessings. Number 9, 2 particular requests. Mr. President, we respectfully place 2 specific requests before Your Excellency. First, we ask that Your Excellency give favorable consideration to the request on the return of mission schools to their original proprietors. We recall that this matter was raised during our meeting with you last year, and we remain hopeful that your government will take the necessary steps towards its implementation. Second, in the light of the Supreme Court judgment of 10 February 2026, affirming the constitutional right of Muslim students at Rivers State University to freedom of religion and worship, we respectfully request that Your Excellency direct the appropriate ministries, departments, and agencies of government to ensure that this same constitutional principle is faithfully implemented throughout the Federation. Once again, we thank you very sincerely for granting us this audience. We pray that the Almighty and merciful God may grant you the wisdom and strength to lead our nation and all its citizens towards that greatness that God has destined for us. Thank you so very much, Mr. President.
To address your points, I've listened carefully. Most importantly, your key area is security or quality of life. I can tell you categorically, now with sincerity, that the country has been placed on sound footing. Sound footing. The economy has recovered. The alarm for bankruptcy, the dark tunnel of uncertainty that we entered into when I came in has changed. The spirit of the people and the economic tunnel that we've been passing through is now clearer. The economy is recovered and safe from bankruptcy. Yes, I always say, because of my background, the profession, and the belief that I inherit the asset and liability of my predecessor. I so did. And I have been running with it. But this government has stabilized, and there's prosperity on the horizon. The quality of life is improving. Yes, before I was born, there was one guy in this country. And I have no control of the population development of Nigeria, trajectory. And that is why you have membership in your various faiths and churches, to give hope to people and give commitment to humanity and the true sense of it. Our founding fathers did their best. They left us a nation, and we owe it to our generations yet unborn to build a nation of unity, stability, and prosperity for the future. To educate our people. Yes, none of your children in the university today, and I will say all of them are your children, your Reverend Fathers. You can't say 4 years course is not 4 years. ASU is not on strike. They are not bringing agony to your homes. Is that not an answer to our prayers? To me, that's an answer. The security situation is what it is. We don't have another country but here, this Nigeria. And we revert to our national anthem. In this complexity, diversity, we shall thrive, live, rejoice, and be good to all of us as humanity. And that is what we're doing. Yes, I've seen that the challenges are there. I inherited it. I didn't run away. I asked for this job, and I'm in it. All is fair in politics, and it's equal opportunity. INEC, you mentioned, are neutral. They've never intimidated anybody. If political opponents are crying wolves, maybe they are afraid of their own shadows and the uncertainty in the companies they keep. Not me. But to me, I return all the mission schools as the governor of Lagos State. One of you, Cardinal Koge, and is alive to testify to that, happened to be one of her best friends that I have. But the schools in the states, preach to them. The governors of your states, they do the job. There's no need for constitutional amendment for that. That is a part of democracy. Choice. And the Land Use Act is there to give you the opportunity to build more schools. To me, I believe in what you believe, the fact that we should all embrace education to get out of poverty. But we are breaking the shackle of ignorance. NEL Fund is doing wonders to our children. They are even earning stipend while they are in the universities. And I've approved your various requests of new universities and others. And National University Commission, we have to take the statistics of the admissions that they have and the investment required to build new universities before we start to enlarge the coast. It's a question of demand and what is necessary for the society. But if you don't have the population to establish the institution, we shouldn't just leave the door open to, and we look at that. The security, I go back to that. I've just approved the expansion of the Nigerian Army and the armed forces. You know, I don't run away from what I inherited. I inherited the challenges. Am I doing something about it? Yes. I can tell you I'm doing something about it. And there will be resources to equip them, build new barracks, build stations, arm them, and defeat terrorism. And it should go as part of your sermons. We all must fight terrorism together. We have that responsibility to our nation and to our society. And I won't deviate from our national anthem. Diversity is the backbone of our prosperity and the future stability of this country. I thank all of you for listening. Thank you very much.